wealth of experience, I'm curious, what have families and caregivers found to be the most difficult?
I would say hands down the most difficult phase of this disease, because keep in mind, this is a very long course in terms of how long the disease lasts. My grandmother, for example, lived with it for almost 20 years.
Wow.
The average statistically is between 8 and 15 years. So that's a long time to have this in your life with your loved one or somebody you're caring for on a day-to-day basis. And there's so many challenges that come up. I equate it with that proverbial saying that we saw in Forrest Gump: life is like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And that is how I see Alzheimer's and dementia. There are so many things that come up on a day-to-day basis that are unexpected and that people aren't prepared for.
And changing.
And as the disease progresses, the signs and symptoms get more exaggerated.
The difficulty is that it's hard to diagnose.
Yes, and that's the other difficult part of this disease for so many family members. As a matter of fact, most people are not diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease or one of the other brain diseases that causes dementia until they're well into their mid-stage of the disease. And the reason why is because in the beginning stage, the signs and the symptoms are so subtle that it's very difficult for even doctors to differentiate between whether or not this is a red flag to something more serious like Alzheimer's disease, or if this is actually just part of the normal aging process where we start to forget where we put our glasses, oh, they're on top of our head, or forget where our car keys are. It takes a long time for the disease to progress to the stage where it's now very obvious and very noticeable, and most people are into their second stage of the disease before it's so noticeable. And then a lot of families tell me, well, when I think back, there were signs, but I just thought it was part of normal aging. And not everybody who forgets things has it turn into something more serious. So that's a very difficult stage for even professionals, medical professionals, to make that determination.
Not everyone is as obvious as your grandmother with the birds in the mattress coming after you.
That's correct, but keep in mind, she didn't start off with her birds in the mattress. She progressed to that stage. There were signs in the beginning that we talked about and noticed that we kind of just dismissed until the bird showed up in the mattress. And things like her eating habits. She was living off of bread.
And only bread.
And there were other little subtle signs that were really early symptoms of the disease, but they were subtle like that, so we didn't really give it any credence until the birds showed up in the mattress, the rats showed up in the house running along the walls, and the people were trying to kill her.